Hey guys, it's Solo here, and in this video, I'll be going over how you can land in the inbox and avoid going to spam using these delivery tips or hacks. Basically, these are just guidelines, right, that you can follow. Now, delivery is very critical. The fundamentals are offer, copy, infrastructure, and list, right, as we already spoke about in the previous video. These four work together to give you more conversions, which have more leads, more demos and calls per, and more close deals at the end of the day. Right? They need to be dialed in. All four need to be dialed in for outbound to work properly. One cannot function without the other. So I'll be going over how you can optimize the first fundamental component, which is infrastructure. Right? Under infrastructure comes deliverability because good infrastructure is equal to good deliverability. If you have decent or good infrastructure set up, then your deliverability is also going to be good as well. It means that you're not going to be landing in spam and that you're getting decent report rates, you're getting new leads and book calls coming in. You're having actual conversations instead of just hitting the spam filter. To set up a good infrastructure, we need to analyze the building blocks that make up the infrastructure. If we do a simple breakdown, we can see that it is domains, inboxes, email sequencer, campaign setup and settings, right? These four, right? If this is a simple overview, of course, you need all of these dialed in for your infrastructure to work properly. Now, domains plus inboxer. Where do you buy domains? There's of course so many different options out there, right? Oakburn, Namecheap, GoDaddy, and so on. What I would recommend is Cloudflare for purchasing your domains. And for purchasing your inboxes, I would suggest Scale Mail or Premium Inboxes. MailDoso is also a pretty good option that I'd like to test out, but they do have a quarterly pricing plan, so keep that in mind. So, yeah, Cloudflare for domains, Scale Mail, or your Premium Inboxes for selling your inboxes. You also need a proper setup between domains, proper ratio between domains and inboxes. Here's how you do your math, right? One domain means you can set up two inboxes. Per inbox, you can send 50 to 30 emails comfortably per day without burning the account, right? Uh, I would suggest you keep it to a maximum of 25 per day though, because at around 30, it starts burning. So let's say 20 as an average value for convenience and calculation purposes, right? Figure out how many emails you want to send per day and then divide that by 20. So if you want to send 1,000 emails per day, then you need to buy 50 inboxes. Assuming you are using Google Inboxes, Outlook works slightly different. 50 inboxes mean that you need 25 domains. Since the ratio is 1 to 2 inboxes, right? One domain, two inboxes. So to summarize, 25 domains, 15 boxes. You can now do your cost calculations based on these numbers. Now, email sequencer. First of all, what's an email sequencer? An email sequencer is a tool or software that automates the sending of a series of emails called a sequence over time, right? Usually as a part of sales, marketing, or a follow-up campaign. Obviously, don't use Apollo or Outreach or SalesLoft as a sequencer. There are multiple sequences that are available in the market as alternatives, right? But here's what I would pick, right? Based on what I've seen and things like that. These are three really good options that you can use. Instantly, smartly, email buys. Instantly is ideal for startups and small businesses looking for an affordable, easy to use platform with AI driven personalization and robust email sequencing capabilities, right? Smart Read is more suited for agencies and enterprises. If you want high volume sending, advanced automation, integrated CRM features. If you want a little bit more advanced sequencer, I would say go for Smart Lead. The best way you can compare instantly and Smart Lead is the best comparison that I've seen is by Eric Nowalski. Shout out to him. Like he said, like instantly is like an iPhone and Smartly is like Android, right? And Android. You have more customization options in Smart Lead. And yeah, but Instantly is easier to use. Its UI is very clean. So yeah. Email Bison is best for agencies, right, that prefer a self-hosted solution. If you're looking for more control, maximize deliverability and maintain full control over your email infrastructure, Email Bison is a good option. It's slightly pricier than Instantly or Smartly, But yeah, this was created in keeping in mind agencies, right? Uh, so yeah, keep that in mind too. So that covers the sequencer. Now, some best practices for campaign settings, right? These are some best practices that you can follow to ensure that you have good deliverability overall, right? Number one, warm up your inboxes for a minimum of 14 to 21 days. 14 days is bare minimum, and 3 weeks is recommended. Set up your SPF, DKIM, and DMARC correctly. This tells email providers that you are a legit sender. Don't burn your primary domain. Do not use your primary domain for email, cold email, right? Use burner domains and inboxes for cold outreach. Sequences like Instantly, Smart Lead, and Email Bison automate inbox rotation, ensuring emails are sent from trusted inboxes. Use reliable inbox providers like Scale Mail and Premium Inboxes, right? They handle your, record setup as well. So go for EU or US based IPs. In Scale Mail, you can order a mix, right, of both Google and Outlook inboxes. I highly suggest buying inboxes that are either Google or Outlook, right? Buy a mix of both ideally. Now, don't send more than 25 emails per day per inbox. Ramp up from 15 per day to 25 per day gradually. Per week, increase by 5 emails. This is an example ramp up schedule, right? So for week one, it will be 15 emails per day per inbox. Week two, it will be 20 emails per day per inbox. Week three, it will be 25 emails per day per inbox. So that's how your grand peak up. Ensure overall email bounce rate is below 2 to 5, 2 to 5%, ideally below 2%, but for locally it will be higher. So keep that in mind. Ensure your lists are all your lists are clean before sending via a tool like Million Verifier, Debounce, Bounce or Scrubby. Maintain a low spam complaint rate. Keep emails short, natural, and personalized. Avoid spammy words. You could also make unsubscribing easy to prevent manual spam complaints and reports. Focus on email engagement, right? High reply rate signal inbox providers that your emails are actually wanted. My people are actually, responding to your emails. This guy's not spamming anybody. Avoid mass blasting without a plan, right? Instead, segment and personalize your outreach. Tools like Live make this very, very easy for you. Relevant and targeted outreach triumphs over the strategy of just spraying and pray. Don't just rely on one single data provider like Apollo. There are multiple, including Magic, Funnyman, Prosphere, ICPs, Enros, and so on. Clay makes this process of waterfall enrichment very easy. Now, test, analyze, and improve. This is true across all corners of life. Track deliverability, volume status, inbox placement, copy, things like that. Right? Constantly monitor reply rates and spam complaints to adjust your strategy. Bounce rate is also a very important metric that you need to monitor, as mentioned before. If it's going about 3%, then you gotta be careful. Maybe you gotta pause sending for a while, let it warm up for some time before you resume sending. Lastly, disable open and click rate tracking. They are vanity metrics, they are not super accurate. So keep that in mind. Now, these are just a few tips, some of the best practices, like I mentioned before. There may be more, but this should give you a general guideline, right? With that being said, click the link below to book a call to learn more about how we can help you build and optimize the outbound setup to get more leads and sales calls, right? If you need help with setting up your infrastructure as well, I can point you in the right direction, give you some tips, guidelines that you can follow, things like that, right? With that being said, once again, I look forward to seeing you in the next video.